everyone to the 2020 Nursing White Coat Ceremony. I've got to say this is a little bit unusual this year. Usually this chapel is packed. It's packed with students, it's packed with family and friends and significant others. And today it's just the three of us and our students. But you know what? That's okay, because this is such a special ceremony for us tonight that we're going to do this and we're going to do it the right way, and we are going to celebrate because it's a very significant time in your students' lives. Like I said, we usually have dignitaries, we usually have a stage full, we usually have a chapel full. And the reason that is because we want to recognize the significance of tonight, and we want to share that special time with you, with our students, with all of you out there in virtual land. And the reason it's so significant is because our students, you, and I'll talk to students now, have worked so hard to get where you are today. If you're a baccalaureate student, you met all of your prereqs. If you were a master's entry student, you finished your original degree, you were awarded a seat in this program. It's a competitive program and not everyone got in, but you got in. So you are special. You've worked very hard, and it's significant that you're here tonight. So not only have you worked hard, but now we're going to ask you to make a very significant commitment. And that's a commitment to provide humanistic care to your patients. When you are cloaked with your white coat, and when you put your pin on, which is at your seat, you are taking an oath and you are making a commitment that for the rest of your time here as a student and for the rest of your life as a professional nurse, you're pledging to give humanistic care to your patient. So what's humanistic care? You've all had the background in science, and you're rooted in your anatomy and physiology and pathopharmacology, and you know all that. So in the center is your scientific care that you're going to provide to your patient. It's quality care, it's safe care, but that care must be wrapped in empathy and compassion for you to be able to give total care to your patient. So in taking this oath today, in receiving your white coat today, you are making a pledge and a commitment to quality care wrapped in compassion and respect and empathy and integrity. So if you're ready to make that commitment, then we're ready to welcome you into what I think is the most amazing profession of all. Before we get started, though, I would like to introduce our president, Dr. Troy Van Aken, who has some words for you.
Thank you, Diane, and welcome to the students who are at this stage in their career. You know, I agree with Diane that nursing is one of the largest and most respected fields, but it's also one of the largest and most respected departments at Elmhurst University. On a personal level, I have a great deal of respect for healthcare providers. Both my children are in medical school right now and pursuing careers in healthcare. In fact, my daughter's white coat ceremony was scheduled for just a few weeks ago at the University of Michigan, and that was postponed. And so I'm especially glad that we're able to do this tonight. Yes, I wish I was a few feet away over in the chapel instead of sitting in my office, but I also understand how our faculty care about our students. They want to do things the right way because they want to model the type of environment that we need to be projecting right now. And really, if I could say something to the students, and I know you already know this because of some of the things that you've done before this point in time, you know, the faculty here really do take to heart the institution's mission, the mission that you have as a nursing department. And they compassionate care really isn't just a buzzword. It's really the way that they carry themselves, and in so much that that's how they really approach the students here. And so please continue to take advantage of both their expertise and also their mentorship on some of the things that are less clinical, but just how you sort of advance through life in this wonderful profession, probably more than ever before. nursing and healthcare fields have been really at the forefront of all of our minds for the last several months. You know, the commitment that the students are going to make is also critical. This isn't an easy major. It isn't an easier path, but it's going to help you not only to be future nurses, but also to be citizens in general. And so whether it's as an ethical, compassionate caregiver, or otherwise, you're going to have a lasting impact on the lives of the individuals that you interact with. Many of them are going to be patients. Some of them are going to be family members. Some of it's just going to be the communities that you serve, whether that be here in Elmhurst or it be someplace around the world. This is the International Year of the Nurse. And who would have known that when this was put in place quite a little bit ago, that it would have really played out during a global pandemic. This is really honoring the 200th anniversary of the birth of Florence Nightingale. And I think this really is something special, and maybe as an extra thing that you'll remember when you think back on this evening and even this particular year. It's a challenging time, but we encourage you to continue to promote nurses' health and well-being and to honor them in any way that you can, whether you're an aspiring nurse or you're one of the people like me who's just participating in the ceremony as a parent or another administrator here. And I think the empathetic care that is being given to so many during this pandemic is really something that the families as well as the patients appreciate. And so I just have tremendous support for the students here tonight. I'm just pleased that I could be even a small part of this ceremony. And I just wish you the best of luck as you begin this next chapter in your nursing careers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Van Aken. And now we have a special keynote speaker who could not be here this evening, Representative Lauren Underwood, but we do have a message from her and from representatives from the Gold Foundation. So we will hear from Representative Underwood now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Richard Levin, the President and CEO of the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. I want to greet all of you who are starting your nursing careers or the clinical rotations in your nursing school and congratulate you on your courage in this time of COVID. In the Year of the Nurse, the 200th anniversary of the birth of Florence Nightingale. And I'd like to give a warm welcome to your family and friends, to your faculty and your deans. Amid a global pandemic, during a devastating economic crisis, and at a moment of reckoning with terrible and persistent racial inequities, it would have been easy to cancel this ceremony. But humanism is not canceled. In fact, the world can see it now more clearly than ever. In times of crisis, healthcare swings into a different mode and reveals itself for what it truly is, one human being caring for another. The White Coat Ceremony was created in 1993 by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation to mark this moment in your journey as clinician, to recognize your awesome responsibility to the patient in front of you, and to emphasize the importance of compassion, respect, empathy, and ethical patient care. In 2020, this ritual has even more meaning. In moments of difficulty and challenge, you can reflect back on your ceremony today and remember again why you first decided to become a nurse, to help people to heal, to care with compassion, to make the world a better place. Thank you so much for this contribution.
As we celebrate your White Coat Ceremony, I'm pleased to introduce the Honorable Lauren Underwood to present the keynote address. Representative Underwood serves Illinois' 14th District as the newest nurse elected to Congress. She is the first woman, the first person of color, and the first millennial to represent her community. She is the youngest African-American woman to ever serve in the United States House of Representatives. Prior to her election, Congresswoman Underwood served as the senior advisor at the United States Department of Health and Human Services, working to help implement the Affordable Care Act, as well as prevent, prepare for, and respond to disasters, bioterror threats, and public health emergencies. Representative Underwood is also a former AACN intern who, as a graduate student at Johns Hopkins University, expressed a strong desire to serve in Congress someday. In less than 10 years, she has made that dream a reality. Representative Underwood is a strong, steadfast champion of nurses and the nation. She is a vibrant voice for compassion and humanism in healthcare, which is the heart of this ceremony and your work as future nurses. We are proud to have the Congresswoman join us for this momentous occasion and serve as an inspiration as you take your first steps to becoming a nurse. Congratulations, and please welcome Congresswoman Lauren Underwood.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren Underwood. I represent Illinois' 14th Congressional District, and I'm a proud nurse. Thank you for the honor of addressing you on the day of this critical milestone. I'm so glad to be able to celebrate with you. I'd like to thank the American Association of Colleges of Nursing and the Arnold P. Gold Foundation for coordinating this virtual ceremony and providing an opportunity for all of us to reflect on what brought you to this point in your professional formation. I completed my BSN at the University of Michigan, and it doesn't seem like that long ago that I completed my MSN MPH at the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing. I started at Hopkins at the age of 21, the youngest member of my class. I was ambitious, excited, and ready to chase after opportunities with an open heart and mind. I started my master's program in the summer of 2008, just months before the onset of the Great Recession. I was living a block away from my school in an unfamiliar low-income African-American community. The rapid economic downturn illuminated the poverty in the East Baltimore community I was living in and the inequality in our nation's healthcare system. The recession also accelerated the urgent sense of purpose I felt to pursue my work on health disparities. I quickly accepted a job as a research fellow at the National Institutes of Health Clinical Center, where I worked with nurse researchers to better understand clinical trial participation among minority patients in an effort to tackle that long-standing equity issue. I later worked as a research nurse on another health disparities study. And in my coursework, I focused on improving African American birth outcomes, examining infant mortality and preterm birth rates, and evaluating policy interventions like expanding Medicaid and funding nursing education. It was little more than a decade ago, in 2009, when I graduated from Hopkins. At the time, more than 40 million Americans lacked health insurance, and I saw a transformative opportunity in the Affordable Care Act to increase access to care and improve the health of the American people. I'm so grateful I had a chance to work on the Affordable Care Act implementation in the Obama administration after graduation. My commitment to ending disparities in maternal-child health outcomes continued in the administration, where I later worked to advance equity with the White House Council for Women and Girls. As I was serving out the last few days of the Obama administration, a classmate and good friend of mine from my MSN MPH program, Shalon Irving, gave birth to her beautiful daughter, Soleil. Just 3 weeks later, Shalon collapsed and passed away due to complications from high blood pressure related to her pregnancy. She was just 36 years old. Shalon was an epidemiologist at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, where she worked to investigate and eliminate health disparities. She was highly educated with a doctorate. She was excited to be a mom, and she had done everything right, and we still lost her. I couldn't believe it. Her death was a devastating reminder of the disparities that women of color face in our healthcare system. The statistics are unacceptable. Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women, and more than twice as likely than women of other races. Maternal health outcomes, which have been improving worldwide, have worsened over the course of my lifetime in America. Here, right here, in the United States of America, the richest country in the world. Looking back, I can see it was my training as a nurse and in public health that gave me the grounding and evidence-based decision-making that's not only essential to nursing, but to policymaking. That foundation and Shalon's story, which I carry with me every day in Congress, inspired me to co-found the Black Maternal Health Caucus to take on these disparities through evidence-based policies. It's why in March of 2020, I introduced bipartisan legislation to take urgent action to address our nation's maternal health crisis and to finally end the racial disparities in maternal outcomes. And I'm proud to say more than 100 members of Congress have joined me in this effort. Don't ever doubt that change is possible. My training as a nurse provided me with the data-based grounding that has been central to my work in Congress. But being a nurse is even bigger than the practical knowledge you learn and the skills you employ. Fundamentally, nursing is about the intimate moments that you'll have with your patients and their families at the bedside, answering their questions and addressing their fears in what might be the most difficult moments of their lives. That's what white coat ceremonies are all about. The traditions of compassion and patient-centered care that have deep roots in the nursing profession. I've carried this spirit of compassion with me during my time in Congress. In fact, some of the conversations I have with constituents aren't too different from the ones you'll have with your patients. People so often come to me when they don't know where else to turn. Whether it's an issue with getting their Social Security payments or challenges paying off their student loan debt, or an inability to afford insulin for their child with diabetes, in just a few short minutes, you can share in the struggles of members of your community and work to develop policies to help them. My hope for you as you begin your careers is that the spirit of compassion and service that drew you into nursing will stay with you and carry you through the hard days. And as our nation has seen through this pandemic, there will undoubtedly be hard days. But your passion for helping others, particularly the most vulnerable, is a light that will help you see in the dark. And when days are long and you feel tired or sad or worn out, remember that there are patients who look at you as their reason for hope. Also remember to take care of yourselves and look out for your fellow nurses on the front lines. When so many others depend on you, it's especially important that you're getting the support that you need. Because let's face it, our nation can't afford to lose you, not only for the clinical expertise that you'll display every day with patients, but in the wide range of ways that you'll be able to be change agents in your communities. Nurses are making a difference as clinicians, researchers, policy advocates, faculty members, and yes, even as members of Congress. Whether you'll be making breakthrough scientific discoveries or leading an advocacy campaign to push for access to affordable health care, your nursing background will prepare you for a career dedicated to promoting the health and well-being of your neighbors and our nation. You might be remembered by a mom as the person who saved her son's life, or a dad who watched his daughter's face light up every time you walked into her hospital room. You might be remembered by the elderly patient who doesn't receive visitors but knows you as a friend. You might be remembered for the important paper you published in an academic journal that advances our understanding of the impacts of air pollution on childhood asthma. Or you could be remembered for inspiring your colleagues to call their representatives and express support for legislation that will provide necessary funding for nursing schools. There are so many possibilities ahead of you, but one common thread runs through them all: the opportunity to make people's lives better. There's no higher calling. So, as you prepare to do this critically important work, I hope you're feeling inspired and excited. You might feel a little nervous too, especially in the midst of COVID-19. But as nurses are desperately needed on the front lines of this public health crisis, you will continue to be needed long after the pandemic. There are urgent challenges that must be confronted, from the disparities that exist throughout our healthcare system to the unacceptable barrier of costly, unaffordable care that hurts millions of Americans every year. There's a lot of work ahead, but for now, I hope you can celebrate this exciting milestone. Know that your families, friends, and classmates and faculty will be there for you every step of this journey. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see you change the world. Congratulations, and remember to take good care of yourselves.
What an inspiring example of what you can do, what you will do as a nurse. But now, the most important part of the ceremony that your friends and family and virtual companions out there have been waiting for is the time for your cloaking. So we'll ask you to rise and come forward. And family and friends out there, I've asked the students if they want to unhook their mask as they get their cloak on, so we will be safe about it, and you will be able to see their face and do a little snap on the computer screen if you'd like to. But we will start this evening with Nicholas Anderson. And they're allowed to wave and smile at you too. Victoria Aristakashwan. Sorry. Veronica Aristakashwan. Gretchen Baez. Michaela Barron. Jake Body. Isabella Bucaro. Alondro Cabrelas. Lisa Marie Caruso. Adrian Dave Cowlin. Sarah Centennial. Sky Chap. Stephen Shiovari. Melissa Cook. Philip Courtwright. Jocelyn Cuevas. Lauren DeYoung. Gabriella De Leon. Beata Drozda. Babatunde Fatunabo. Marissa Fico. Tegan Fitzgerald. Vaishnavi Gandhi. Michaela Gerbowski. Faith Garcia. Sarah Galafacci. Catherine Hernandez Penisolosa. Samantha Hillebrand. Such great smiles. Amelia Hubenar. Scott Houston. Alan John. Sophia Kolbash. Natalia Krajewska. Claudia Kredowitz. Emily Leo. Michael Liskowska. Lauren Maslak. Kristen Rose McLenahan. Samantha Miranda. Rachel Munoz. Reagan Myers. Shivani Patel. And now we turn it over to the Frick Center, where Dr. Cynthia Hinojosa will finish reading the names and Dr. Davis will cloak the remaining students.
Thank you, Dr. Salvador. Welcome to the Founders Lounge. Dr. Cynthia Hinojosa will read the names and I will go ahead and cloak.
Christiana Radakovich. Juliana Rita. Jessie Ruby. Kimberly Sanfilippo. Emily Saucedo. Caitlin Shanatsky. Rebecca Small. Madeline Stratman. Olivia Tamal. Sophia Albrick. Greta Ann Wetzel. Olivia Zavatsky. And now for the master's entry into nursing practice. Christine Andalahau. Catherine Back. Sydney Bates. Ryan Bowman. Julia Buchanan. Jocelyn Camiola. Noel Carrillo. Namoshri Jill Kadori. Selena Chavez. Omar Cordoro. Shay Corpora. Nadia De Clemente. Margaret Engel. Haley Fay. Taylor Fisher. Juan Pablo Garcia. Grace James. Isabel Johnson. Linda Kafour. Tyler Lucas. Kenna Mathenge. Lilia Mirza. Thomas Papadopoulos. Christina Ratuco. Jonathan Sanchez. Mariana Sanchez. Kristen Schager. Rachel Slawinski. Dennis Taylor. Bree Veazey. Tyler Walton. And Haley Yarbrough.
How great is that? I wish you were here. And I wish that you could see what I see in front of me, a room full of nurses to be with their white coats on. But we're not finished yet because we have Reverend Scott Matheny who will give us a blessing of the hands.
So can we just say, you all look amazing in your white coats. And I suspect all of those over in Founders Lounge also look absolutely spectacular. And there is something about growing into the profession that those beautiful white coats, they're going to get dirty. And you're going to figure out how to clean those coats. And you're going to figure out how to bring back the soul and make them beautiful again. The water that we bless your hands is exactly out of the notion of your ability as healers to be able to heal the body, mind, soul, and spirit. And that you, in Founders Lounge and in our chapel, are blessed beyond measure, that you have capacity to bless others and to heal. And so the water that I would put on your hands, and I'll throw a little bit out, is about your sense of becoming, already you are, a part of the healing process. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. What the representatives spoke about, what your faculty talk about. And when you get your coats dirty, wash them. My language now, because God has given you the strength to clean, to heal, and to be a blessing. So with that, we bless all of your hands here and in Founders Lounge, and remember that you are a gift of healing, body, mind, soul, and spirit. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chaplain Matheny. So you're cloaked and you're blessed. Now we're going to ask you all to stand and recite the white coat oath. And we have leading that oath tonight one of our very own, Jean Berta. She is a 1982 graduate of Elmhurst University Department of Nursing. She's been teaching with us here for 15 years in both family health and community health. Professor Berta also serves on the Elmhurst University Alumni Board of Directors. So Professor Berta, if you will, please.
Thank you, Dr. Salvador. Congratulations, Elmhurst University nursing students on this special day. Please, if you're not standing, please stand now and turn in your program to the white coat ceremony oath. We'll recite this oath together. As a future nurse dedicated to providing the highest quality care and services, I solemnly pledge that I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns, act in a compassionate and trustworthy manner in all aspects of my care, apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes to my patients, promote, advocate for, and strive to protect health, safety, and rights of the patient. With this pledge, I accept the duties and responsibilities that embody the nursing profession. I take this oath voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. Thank you. You may be seated for Dr. Salvador's closing remarks.
Thank you, Professor Berta. Thank you, students, for the commitment that you've shown to get here, for the commitment that you've just made to continue providing that compassionate, altruistic care to your patients as you go forward. In closing, I just have two quick housekeeping things. We could not have done this tonight without our amazing IT department here at the university. So I want to thank tonight those who are with us, making these screens appear and disappear. Jimmy Fitzgerald and Chris Curtin, thank you for all you've done tonight to help us make this a reality. Also couldn't have done it without our faculty who helped with the planning and without our amazing administrative assistant, Donna Steiner. So thank you, Jimmy, Chris, Donna, and the faculty that helped put this all together. And it's because they care about you and they wanted you to make sure that you got the best evening possible. So thanks for all that support. We're going to end the ceremony tonight with a benediction again from Chaplain Matheny. After that, we will sing, if you know, the alma mater, and that will be the end of our program. So again, congratulations and welcome to an amazing profession.
We don't expect you to know the alma mater, yes, but you will learn it. With these words, strength to you, blessings, grace, and hope that you, who are healers and now have a white coat and bear the joy of the profession, all the responsibilities. Go in love, go in strength, grace, amen. And let's hear the alma mater.
Where the elms in stately glory spreading branches raise, there our cherished alma mater hears our song of praise. School we love, Elmhurst, live for aye. God shed his grace on thee. Loyal be thy sons and daughters to thy memory. Student days will soon be over for our happy throng. Still we'll hold thy memory precious, ever dear and strong. School we love, Elmhurst, live for aye. God shed his grace on thee. Loyal be thy son